Hello everybody, I would like to welcome you to our final week of this course, and as you can see that time has gone or has passed by very quickly, and I'm sure you have learned a lot in this course. So this is our week 6 of the course, which is the final week, and before introducing the content of the week, I would like to reflect on your performance in week 5 as we usually do in previous weeks. To start with regard to the lab kit, we don't have any issues this week. That is good. So things have gone smoothly. And with regard to the general performance in the various activities of the week, I believe that most of you have done a good job and you have improved in your performance. The discussion was well done, and as I noticed that some of you have started early, and the issue is that most of you are born in the same period, so most students do the same topic or cover the same topic. So it was a little bit difficult for some of you to find other topics to respond to. So it wasn't a problem, that was fine. So the general performance in the discussion was good. And one issue I noticed, and some of you have also maybe noticed, that some students only send one or two responses. If you read carefully in the instructions, it says that you should respond to the topic of the discussion. That is the first or the initial response. And then you should respond to at least two of your colleagues, which makes the total 3. And as I noticed that some of you only respond or send 2 responses, the initial response and responding to one student. Also, some of you only send the initial response only, so 1 response. And again, if you look at the rubrics, you will find that there are certain or different levels of points that are allocated to the number of responses that you send. So if you send 3 responses, it's different from if you send 2 or 1 response only. So I hope that makes sense, and in future courses you need to look carefully at the instructions and what is required from you. With regard to the quiz, I believe that most of you did well, and some of you just send or posted late quizzes, so please make sure that you meet the deadline. With regard to the lab reports, again the same thing that I noticed in week 4 rather, on week 5, that the pre-lab questions are done well and most of you score full grades or full points, but the discussion questions, most of you struggle in them. And as you can see that these discussion questions are more linked to your work, your lab work, because it says from what you have done in the lab, how can you answer this question, say for example. So please note that discussion questions need to be responded to in a better manner. One thing I also noticed that a good thing that I noticed that some of you did is that even though their lab work did not conform to what is needed or what is required, they made comments on what is supposed to happen and what their lab results came to. That is a good thing, because we need you to discuss, because even negative results are results, so you need to show your results and comment on them based on your readings and your background and your knowledge of the issue. So I think that is that about week 5. And now introducing week 6. As you know, this is our last week of the course, and we try to make it a little bit different from previous weeks. The main difference is in the quiz. This time the quiz is a little bit longer. It contains 20 questions instead of 10, and it carries more points. So this is a good chance for those of you who want to catch up with regard to gaining more points and improving your scores. So, but again, you have 2 chances to answer the quiz. So 35 points and 20 questions. And as you notice that the title of this week is Other Uses of Microorganisms. So we are continuing to look at the positive aspects or the useful microorganisms and what they do and how can we make use of them. So we are extending the other uses, the beneficial uses of microorganisms to some of the products that they produce during their metabolism, like acids, say, for example, and how can we use them in food processing, food preservation, and so on. We also look at some of the metabolites that they produced and like bacteriocins, and how can we use them positively again. We are also looking at some of the food ingredients that are produced by microorganisms and how positively we can use them in the area of food. So that is about week 6. And in addition to the changes that we have made in the quiz, the other components, namely the lab and discussion, are similar to previous weeks, and they carry the same points, the same amount of points. So that is that about week 6, and as I said, this is our last week and our last meeting. So just let me say that I have enjoyed working with you, and you are very cooperative, you are very interactive, and it reflects the level of learning that you have gained in this course. And I wish you all the luck in this course, in other courses, and in all your studies. And I hope to meet you in future courses, and it was my pleasure to be with you in this course. So good luck, and have a good day, have a good week, and see you online.